The Galactic Council had ruled the known universe for 12,000 years. They watched young species crawl from their planets like insects climbing from dirt. They judged which civilizations deserved to exist and which ones needed to be crushed before they became problems. When humanity sent its first radio signals into space, the Council took notice. When humans built their first colony on Mars, the Council laughed. These creatures were weak, fragile, and they were embarrassingly short. Ambassador of the Empire stood before the council chamber. His 4 eyes scanned the massive holographic display showing Earth and its tiny fleet of 30 ships. The Empire alone commanded over 2 million warships. The combined forces of the council exceeded 50 million vessels. Earth was nothing. Earth was a joke. "The humans have refused our terms," announced. His voice echoed through the chamber where representatives from 90 different species sat in their designated sections. They will not surrender their solar system. They will not pay tribute. They demand to be treated as equals. Laughter filled the chamber. They clicked their mandibles in amusement. The massive stone-skinned rumbled with deep chuckles. Even the normally emotionless allowed thin smiles to cross their silver faces. High Chancellor raised one of his 6 arms to silence the room. He was ancient, even by galactic standards. He had personally overseen the destruction of 47 species that had refused to submit. Humanity would be number 48. "Send the combined fleet," ordered. "Not all of it. We do not wish to waste resources on such insignificant creatures. 5,000 ships should be more than enough to turn their planet to ash." The fleet departed 3 days later. 5,000 of the most advanced warships in the galaxy, each one carrying enough firepower to crack a moon in half. Admiral of the commanded the Armada. He had never lost a battle in his 300 years of service. He expected this mission to last no more than 6 hours. The fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the human solar system. Sensors immediately detected Earth's pathetic defense force. 30 ships waited near the planet Jupiter. They were small, ugly things compared to the elegant vessels of the Council. Admiral almost felt pity for them. "Open communications," ordered. "Let them hear their death sentence." The communication screens flickered to life. A human female appeared on the display. She wore a simple gray uniform with no medals or decorations. Her hair was dark, her eyes were calm, and she showed absolutely no fear. "I am Admiral Sarah of the United Earth Defense Force," she said. "You have entered sovereign human space. Leave now and no harm will come to you." Admiral made a sound that passed for laughter among his species. "You threaten us, with 30 ships against 5,000. Your species is as stupid as we believed." Admiral's expression did not change. "You were not invited here. This is your final warning." Terminated the communication. He gave the order to attack. 5,000 ships surged forward, weapons charging, ready to end humanity in a single devastating strike. Then something strange happened. Space itself seemed to fold and twist around them. Warning alarms screamed across every ship in the fleet. Sensors went crazy with readings that made no sense. Admiral watched in confusion as reality itself appeared to tear open in thousands of places around his armada. Ships emerged from those tiers. Human ships, but these were not like the 30 vessels they had detected earlier. These were monsters of metal and light, each one larger than anything the Council had ever built. They came by the hundreds, then by the thousands, then by the tens of thousands. The final count froze every member of the Council fleet in absolute terror. 200,000 human warships now surrounded them completely. Each one bristled with weapons that scanners could not even identify. Each one radiated power levels that should have been impossible. Admiral's face appeared on the screens again. This time she was smiling. "You seem surprised," she said. "Did you really think those 30 ships were all we had? We knew about your council for 60 years. We knew you would eventually come to conquer us. We knew exactly what kind of power we would need to stop you." could not find words. His mandibles clicked uselessly as his compound eyes processed the impossible sight before him. Humanity has a saying, continued. Walk softly and carry a big stick. We walked very softly. We let you think we were weak. We let you believe we were easy prey. We hid our true strength in pocket dimensions outside normal space, waiting for this exact moment. One of the human ships moved forward. It was the largest vessel had ever seen, stretching over 50 kilometers from bow to stern. Its hull was covered in strange symbols that seemed to glow with inner fire. The ship's name was written in human letters along its side: Judgment. For 60 years we prepared, said. We developed weapons you cannot imagine. We mastered technologies you have not discovered in 12,000 years of expansion. We did this because we had no choice. We knew that survival required strength, and we refused to become another extinct species in your collection. Finally found his voice. This is impossible. Your civilization is less than 10,000 years old. You cannot have technology superior to the Council. Laugh softly. That is another thing you got wrong. Human civilization is young, but human determination is infinite. When we realized we were not alone in the universe, we united as a species for the first time in our history. Every scientist, every engineer, every resource our planet possessed was focused on one goal: defense, survival, victory. The massive ship Judgment began to charge its primary weapon. Energy readings spiked to levels that made its equipment malfunction completely. Your fleet will not be destroyed today, said. We are not monsters. We do not kill when we do not have to, but your weapons will be disabled. Your ships will be stripped of everything that makes them dangerous. Then you will return to your council with a message. The Judgment fired, but it was not a destructive beam. It was something else entirely, a wave of energy that swept through the entire council fleet in seconds. Every weapon system on every ship simply stopped working. Power cores went dark. Shields collapsed. Navigation systems failed. 5,000 warships were reduced to drifting metal coffins in the span of a heartbeat. The message is this, said. Earth is not your prey. Earth is not your servant. Earth is not your colony. Earth is a sovereign world, and we will defend ourselves against any threat. We do not seek war with the Council. We seek peace, trade, and mutual respect. But if you force us to fight, we will not lose. She paused, letting her words sink into the terrified minds of every alien in the disabled fleet. Return to your masters. Tell them what you saw here today. Tell them that humanity has been watching, learning, and preparing. Tell them that the age of conquest is over. Any species that attacks Earth will face the full power of our hidden fleet, and next time we may not be so merciful. The human ships began to disappear back into their pocket dimensions, folding away into nothing as mysteriously as they had arrived. Only the Judgment remained, watching over the helpless Council armada until repair drones arrived to give them just enough power to limp home. Admiral survived to deliver the message. He stood before the Galactic Council 3 weeks later, his body still trembling from the experience. The chamber was silent as he described what he had witnessed. No laughter this time, no clicking mandibles or rumbling chuckles, only fear. High Chancellor sat motionless on his throne. His ancient mind struggled to process this new reality. For 12,000 years, the Council had been the supreme power in the galaxy. Now, a species they had dismissed as insects possessed technology beyond their understanding. A species they had planned to exterminate in an afternoon could apparently destroy them all without effort. What do we do? One of the representatives whispered. Remained silent for a long time. Then slowly he rose from his throne. We do what we have never done before, he said. His voice was quiet, almost defeated. We send diplomats instead of warships. We ask for peace instead of demanding surrender. We treat humanity as equals. The words felt strange in his mouth. The Council had never treated anyone as equals, but was old enough to recognize when the rules had changed forever. 3 months later, the first official diplomatic delegation arrived in Earth's solar system. They came in a single, unarmed transport, bearing gifts and treaties written in the language of respect rather than conquest. Admiral met them personally, still wearing her simple gray uniform. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "We have been waiting for this day." The diplomats bowed deeply. They had practiced the gesture for weeks, learning human customs and courtesies. They came prepared to negotiate as equals, something their species had never done in thousands of years of existence. Behind the transport, invisible in their pocket dimensions, the hidden fleet remained on guard. 200,000 ships crewed by men and women who would give their lives to protect their home. Scientists continued their work in secret laboratories across the solar system, pushing the boundaries of physics even further. Earth would never stop preparing. Earth would never stop growing stronger. But for now, there was hope for peace. The humans had proven their point without genocide, without cruelty, without becoming the very monsters they had feared. They had shown that true strength included knowing when not to use it. The universe would remember this day, the day when space empires trembled, the day when humanity revealed its true face, the day when everything changed. And somewhere in the vast darkness between stars, other young species watched and learned. They saw that the mighty could be humbled. They saw that the weak could rise. They saw that determination and unity could overcome any obstacle. Humanity had done more than save itself. Humanity had given hope to the entire galaxy.